Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving straight into the Las Vegas Grand Prix. This was a race that gave us one story on the track, but a completely different and maybe even more important one for the championship. So, how is it possible to lose a race but still somehow come out on top? Let's get right into it, because after 50 laps under those incredible Vegas lights, that was the big question on everyone's mind. And here it is, the paradox in a nutshell. You've got Max Verstappen, who brilliantly won the battle, no question about it. But then you have Lando Norris, who by finishing second, actually took this giant leap towards winning the entire championship war. So how does that even work? To really get it, you've got to look past the winner's trophy and dig into the numbers, the mathematics that truly define a championship fight. For Max, look, this victory was massive, a masterful display of skill for sure, but it was more than that. It was him sending a clear message, I am not giving up. It was a flawless drive that keeps him, mathematically at least, in the hunt. But for Lando, second place was, you could say, a strategic masterpiece. I mean, think about it. Why would you risk a DNF, a did not finish, fighting for a few extra points when a safe second place pads your championship lead? He played the long game, and boy, did it pay off. Okay, so to really see how this all played out, we have to go back all the way to the very start of the race. You could argue the entire outcome was decided in the first 10 seconds off the line. So here's what happened step by step. And what's so wild is how just one split-second miscalculation completely rewrote the story of this race. Norris had the best seat in the house on pole position, but one little lockup, and that's all it took for his rival to pounce. And, you gotta give it to Lando. He owned up to it. He basically said, yep, I misjudged it. He pointed to the cool track temperatures, which can be super tricky. It's just a brutal reminder of how razor-thin the margins are at this level of motorsport. And on the flip side, listen to what Max said. This just perfectly shows that killer instinct he has. He saw the tiniest crack in the door, that little window of opportunity, and he just drove straight through it. A move that, when you look back, absolutely won him the Grand Prix. But a Grand Prix is never just about the front two cars, right? The whole grid was buzzing. There were some incredible stories unfolding right behind them. Yeah, just look at this. Behind the leaders, it was pure action. George Russell grabbed another podium for Mercedes, which is huge for them. Lando's teammate, Oscar Piastri, had a great recovery drive to get fourth, keeping his own title hopes alive. And you even had some early drama with a crash on the very first lap. But honestly, the biggest story might have come from Mercedes. Yeah, I'm talking about Lewis Hamilton. One of the best drives of the day, hands down, came from him. The 7-time world champ put on an absolute masterclass in how to recover after what was frankly a disastrous qualifying session. So get this, after a hydraulic failure on Saturday, he started dead last, 20th place. For most drivers, that's game over, you just write the race off. But not for Lewis Hamilton, no way. He just carved his way through the entire field, gaining an incredible 12 positions. So the crucial point here is that he turned what should have been a complete disaster into really valuable points for the team. It was just a classic display of the skill that has made him a legend. All right, so the Vegas dust has settled, the champagne has been sprayed. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. What does this all mean for the championship? Okay, so here are the standings for our top 3 contenders. You can see Lando Norris is out front, but look how close his own teammate, Oscar Piastri, is, and Max Verstappen is right there too. Both of them are absolutely still within striking distance. And this chart really helps you visualize that lead, a 30-point gap to Piastri and 42 points to Verstappen. Now, that's a healthy buffer, for sure, but as we're about to see, it's not quite unbeatable, not yet. So this all boils down to one thing. The magic number, 29. Lando Norris needs to score just 29 more points over these final 2 races, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says, he will be the world champion. Okay, so with 2 races left to decide it all, what happens next? The whole Formula One circus is packing up for the super fast 2-week finale. The fight is going to go right down to the wire at these last 2 races. First up, we've got the Qatar Grand Prix next weekend. And then it all ends at the season finale in Abu Dhabi. And believe me, there is still a lot to play for. When you factor everything in, the shorter sprint races on Saturdays, the bonus points for the fastest lap, there's still a maximum of 58 points up for grabs for any single driver. And that's why this matters so much. Lando is absolutely in the driver's seat, no doubt about it. But that 58-point total means an unexpected result in Qatar could still dramatically change the outcome heading into that final race. This means Lando Norris has his first mathematical chance to secure the title in Qatar, leaving us with one final, thrilling question as we head into the championship's closing chapter. The battle for the crown is going down to the wire.